They say I started at 6:30, but Grand Rising, beautiful, melanated, original, whatever you respectfully call yourself, people. We are here with the Good Morning from Africa Town, LA crew. And you see the title. We had to come up in here and talk about what is going on in our community. What led me to say this is a lot of stuff been going on. We know about the grifters. I guess it's fair to say we know about I had said I wasn't gonna call names, but this one, Jay Morrison with the the Tulsa investment fund, because we know a lot of people have lost money with that.
Fuck
And
'em.
so uh, and Brother Polite. So
Fuck
we
'em.
talking about when predators in our community are disguised as activists. And that's what I see it as. They come in our communities. Most of our people, they're preying on us. I had set the time wrong. I think I'm an hour ahead. They're preying on us as weak people. And they come in there and they taking advantage of us as a people. They're taking advantage of us, and it's our own people. Now, Brother Polite, to me, when I see when it first the night that it happened, when they say he was arrested, I remember back then, I think it's been a year ago. I mean, to me, it was just disgusting. He knew he did it. What he did to that 14-year-old girl, it was right there. I can see if they said that it was days later, it was this or that later. He basically kidnapped this girl. He's getting away with kidnapping and all this. Whatever he's being charged with is not enough. He's
Really
basically
quick, Queen. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Really quickly, for those that do not know who this predator is, brother, quote unquote, brother Polite, can you share with everyone who this individual is that may not know, and what the harm is that he's actually done to our community, to our children?
Brother Polite is supposed to have been an activist. You know how you have all these men running around, well, not men, a lot of these people who say they're for the community. I'm trying to pull up his picture now. That these people say they're for the community. He's been everywhere. He's been on so many interviews. He claimed he wrote 90 plus books. He's done so much, and I can't even hardly find his picture. I think people are getting rid of him. But I knew something was strange when I kept seeing him when he would go out, and I think he was on Vlad TV. He did a lot. Hold on, let me see if I could share the screen. But basically, he was like black activist guru, as they come across. You know how these people come and act like they got so much knowledge, and somehow we jump on the bandwagon and jump on the knowledge that they're so-called giving us. And he basically gained the community's trust. He was on a lot of different things. He's been I say activists in the community, because a lot of the times a lot of us people are following people, and just because they spit in some knowledge that we think that they know, we just follow them and don't know a history. Here goes some of this stuff from him. I'm not gonna pull it up too much because Instagram and all this is not popping up. Let me see how he was dressing. I don't know if you see this over here, but he basically started having I think, didn't he have about 2 or 3 wives?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he had several.
he about 2 or 3 wives, and one of the women. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
One. I think the girl that he actually sexual assaulted was one of the wives or girlfriend.
Yeah. It
The
was one of
girlfriend.
his girlfriend's daughter.
Girlfriend.
Yeah, so I mean, he went to LA, man. He just started like wilding out, acting a fool, got white girls in dashiki, stuff like that, and black people still support him. Y'all crazy. He got blonde hair, white chicks wearing dashikis. He up here wearing Gucci and all that crap. So yeah, this guy been gone for a minute. Nobody respect Brother Polite. I land my plane.
And then Grand Rising Brandon Cruz. And then he basically, you have these women, and that's how they start doing us. They come over here acting like they're so woke, they're activists. Then they get all our money, they get our minds, our money, our trust. And then they start adding more people into this, our blackness, like Mind Game said, the white women and the dashikis. Then you have all these women surround you, and then you go ahead and get the white man trinkets. You have your Rolls Royce. I think they said that wasn't even his. He had the Gucci, the Versace, everything that he put on. This is what we see your dollars did, because y'all threw money at him like y'all do a lot of these so-called predators that are activists in disguise. I mean, activists that are the predators in disguise. And he was doing nothing for you, but giving you an image for you to worship. We are so used to worshiping images. For somehow, I guess we get this mentality, well, if it can't be me, Lord, let it be him. Leave him alone. Let him do this. He had all these women, and then one night, one of his girlfriend or wives, she was at the room, and he took her 14-year-old daughter and took her to a club, if I'm not mistaken, or was trying to take her to a club or a party, and they didn't end up there, and they ended up at his room or a hotel room where he basically drugged her and then forced his eggplant all over her face because she wouldn't open her mouth. He slapped her around with it and tried to shove it in her mouth. That same night that it happened, when I did a video on Facebook, his DNA was there. It was semen on this little girl's face, and y'all are out here defending this kind of stuff. And you wonder why the black community is at a standstill with movement forward, and you wonder why other races take us for a joke, because look at who y'all pour your money into. Y'all are looking for stars. Go out the damn door and look up in the sky if you need to worship a star, because it's enough is enough with this BS. And y'all black people are so want to be kumbaya. Everybody black is not going to get along. Let us say it together. Everybody black is not coming with us. Go ahead, Queen.
I was saying it with you. Everybody black ain't gonna get along. I was saying it with you.
And not just get along. Everybody black is not for black people. See, you've been tricked. We need to go back to the beginning. The truth is, some of our black people sold us out to the white supremacists, and some of our black people are just as bad as the white supremacists. Let's say that together. Some of our people are just as bad as the white supremacists.
Yeah, I would say this. I would say this like the boule. Like, you know, I even talked about Othell Wallace. Now, y'all know we talked about it too on this channel. You got this brother going through his trial. You never heard nothing from the NAACP or the National Network. That's Al Sharpton shit. You ain't heard nothing from this Congressional Black Caucus. You ain't heard nothing from all these people. When a black man die, oh, it's getting all kind of coverage. They're protesting and marching, all that bullshit. But when the brothers defend himself and survive, nobody will want to defend him. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like you said, at the end of the day, we got to pick and choose who we're gonna rock with, because everybody's not gonna be on code, and unfortunately, everybody's not gonna make it. I'll let my plane.
You are so right. If y'all want to donate, there go is Othel.org, because it's like we only want destruction. I'm revamping my channel. I'm revamping myself, because what dawned on me is when I heard, I was in so many meetings. I heard someone say, whatever you keep putting in, that's the algorithm. The algorithm is basically learning what you like, what you're looking at, and what is going to shoot your way. Mm-hmm. And when we do all this, these stories about the police shootings and this and that, we're going to be buried in them stories. And I like what D Mays and Angie says, and Mind Games does. He pulls out the positive images and stuff. I'm changing the algorithm of myself because I want to see where we can go. I'm done sitting here complaining about what white people are doing to us when we have a bunch of black people that is just doing this worse. And then when you tell black people the truth, y'all don't like it. you argue with us, you fuss, you fight, and it's like we're trying to pull you back and you're beating us down, fighting other black people to go give the wrong black people your money. And when the right ones are in your face, you cannot get any help. Long as black people are suffering, and long as there's black people still dying by police brutality, and there's black people that can come scoop up the story and make a living out of it, we're never going to get no change. The NAACP, the Black Caucus, the View. I don't hear nobody talking about the Otha Wilder story, but we can always talk about say his or her name because y'all expecting black men to die and not take up for themselves. Do you know there's a black man out here fighting for his life, Otha Wallace, Ozone, because allegedly he pulled the trigger first before a white cop can kill him. There's a white cop in his grave right now. And we don't, and y'all was cheering for the Montgomery brawl, but what about Otha Wallace?
Hey, Queen, one thing about it, what's weird is I talk to a lot of my people. I asked them, have they ever heard about that? They're like, no. I'm like, so many black people don't even know about this brother's case. And I'm enlightening them, let them know some information and stuff. It's like, as you know, that the bootleg really exposed themselves because y'all should have quickly jumped on this case. You know what I'm saying? But y'all want to jump on cases when a black person get murdered because that's when y'all get the payoff. I land my plane.
That's right. Y'all are so used. It's like I'm changing the algorithm. Change the algorithm. Change what you want to see. When you start clicking on pictures of positivity, when you start clicking on pictures, you get to see light at the end of this tunnel. We don't see light at the end of the tunnel because we're always fighting a battle. And then the people that is here to take advantage of the black struggle are other black people. We could say white supremacists. White supremacists set this system up. They're going to benefit anyway. But it's the black people that I'm getting sick of benefiting. Building your stuff that you cannot. Y'all, I want y'all to think about this as black people. What did Brother Polite give y'all but a bunch of books? What about all these other black people you following? What you got to do is ask yourself, what are they giving you that you can take back to your children, that you can be part of?
Check this out.
Say that again, King.
I'm going to say that real quick. This guy said the black woman is God. But you turn around and you mess with a young sister. Dude, I'm really saying like I'm pissed off. I got 2 daughters. This guy... all his followers.
I got a granddaughter the girl age that he did this too. I would have effed him up, and I still go ahead though.
I'm gonna tell you right. I'm trying to figure out like black anybody that follow him should like look. This guy was wrong. Forget him. We denounced this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude got the semen. You can't fake that. Like this is your DNA on this one girl. You know what I'm saying? Like. Dude, like, what are you talking about? Like, the black woman is God, man. I mean, I hate that because now he set us back some more years because he had a big following. Even though all black people don't follow this guy, he had a hell of a... some people still don't believe he did that.
That's what I'm saying. Why did he have a big following? Because a lot of black people want somebody to worship. A lot of black people want somebody to worship. And we don't take care of, we don't really know what we're looking for. We're so messed up from white supremacy. We're so left behind. And soon as we push one of us up out this hole and they see the light, they tell us, oh, look, y'all, we need more money up here. And we're going to come back and get y'all out this hole. Send more money. Then they're going to be down there. They go up there, send more money. While they up there doing what they want, we're giving their children our trust, our hard-earned money because they say black people don't trust each other, but we do. We trust the wrong people. That's why Jay Morrison in the Tulsa was able to pull 13, 12, or close between, so what I heard, between 11 and $14 million out the black community.
I can believe that.
Tariq Nasheed was able to raise millions of dollars for his museum. This is why what is his name? Dr. Umar was able to raise millions of dollars for a school. This is why Vicky Dillard was able to get millions of dollars out the black community and leaving black people homeless. This is why Boyce Watkins was able to bring millions of dollars. And then most of them all linked together Do you not see a pattern? Sometimes you got to see what you don't want to see. We don't, but Brother Polite was like the uncle you don't want to admit that was molesting a child. He did this to a 14-year-old girl, and for y'all grown behind people out here to take up for him, to be around him, you are the problem. I don't want you following me. I don't want to be around you. I don't want none of his followers, because the night it happened, I put his picture up on my page, and he was sitting up here doing that, threatening. People better stop lying on me. He even took your trust to another level to threaten, stop lying on him, when he knew. He pulled his nasty behind pants down, pulled his eggplant out, shoved it in this girl's mouth, and then he drugged her so she could be thinking that she drunk or whatever. He tried to drug her. He drugged her. Nobody's talking about that. That was kidnapping, drugging, and whatever else you want to say. He getting off easy. When you got black men in prison that I knew took care of the block, doing life in prison because they sold weed or drugs to other grown people, and they helped. I remember when the drug dealers on our block, before this shooting each other, they were buying everybody food, something to eat, and taking care of their neighborhood. And you got people like this man that y'all done filled his pockets where he was able to buy cars, and then they flaunt it back in y'all face.
Yeah.
See, at the go ahead. What you think?
Listen, that don't mean nothing to me. Like, man, yeah, because it's like, yeah, the Brother Polite, he really messed it up for a lot of the people in the country communities. Sarnetta says there's no country community anymore. It's dead. I agree with him on that. I don't even mess with that. No, we don't even use we don't even need to use the word conscious anymore. We just need to say, I don't know what.
That's why I'm with you with that. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, but we just need to get away from it, man, because most of us, that's why I tell y'all, listen, y'all know how I am about the black fist. I'm like, it's like you false flagging, because we don't even have no unity right now. That's only when you got unity, and we don't have it. We like the claw right now. I not even the claw. We like 5 fingers up right now. We got to start fresh. We got to hit the reset button. I know we don't want to hear that, but that's the truth. Because we're not going to save our own people. We can't worry about our own people. I love my people, but I can't worry about you. I mean, if you want to be out there doing your thing, listen to Atlanta Housewives of Atlanta and all that bullshit, and just whatever you do, I'm good with that. That's over here. This is what you are doing over here. We doing this over here. Y'all doing that over there. And even what you said something about Puff Daddy got a what video that is? God, it's a video with Sexy Red and some girl named Lotto called Peaches and Eggplants. I'm done with some of them Negroes. They done. They
gotta be.
Yeah,
yeah. Either we're gonna keep complaining, or we're gonna be tired of it and do something about it. Do something about it means turn. Like I said, turn the radio, turn the station.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? I was watching. I don't know if you all have seen the new Subway commercial. It's with Steph Curry and a handful of other people, and it's called the Pro Sub or whatever. And they're saying it basically like, now Subway slicing their meats fresh. I don't know why you weren't doing that before, but they made the point to say, if we're telling you to do this, then we know you're going to do it. That in itself is insulting. That's how people see us, not just black people, just anyone. If we tell you to do this, then you're going to do it. And it's the most asinine things a lot of times. You have a situation with, and not to get off subject, but as far as, following black leaders or whatnot, quote unquote leaders, you have a situation with Hawaii, right? So, and my husband brought this to my attention. You had Oprah and The Rock. And I know The Rock is from Hawaii, but you had Oprah asking people to donate money. You're worth billions of dollars. Why are you asking somebody to donate money?
Well, people are waking up. Those are tactics that they've been using on us for years, and we're not catching it till now because everybody is tired, white and black, not trying to be funny.
Yes, you're absolutely right. So I'll land with that. It just amazes me, again, how far behind we are as a people. How far human mentality is behind. It's very disheartening. And like Queen Tina said, we have to change our mindsets. The algorithm is important. Changing what we put out, changing what we attract is very important. I don't want to click on nothing raunchy, whether I like it or dislike it. I'm not clicking on it because that's what they're banking on. And so I want you all to bank on positive. Bank on us. It's positive. We're giving you.
We climbing out a hole and over a cliff, and it's like we keep doing the same hamster wheel, and they banking on it. Like Queen Angie said, they bank on our ignorance, and our own people have been banking on that same ignorance.
Think about this. You got people like Cesar Red, Suka Hannes, what's the chick name? Lotto. It's another one that made a song called Glorilla. All garbage. Now,
and to me, I'm gonna say, to be fair, you can do what you want, but that used to be adult entertainment. If you want to talk nasty, you want to show that, you have every right to. But why is it only Black people that are plastered as the world's sex symbols, and everybody else gets to go and celebrate, play, pretend, wear their hair in braids, pretend that they're us, and then at the end of the day, they go home to their communities, and we're stuck with the images that they want to see. We're stuck in the minds and the imaginations of everybody else that's not us. We're stuck with our little girls that look like that. Little white girls don't look like Suki Hunter or Glorilla and them. Black girls do. And they're mimicking them. So when is it going to be where, hey, make your money, but in private, because we need different types of music that is public, because whether you are a good parent or not, you go there. Even though they do this radio thing, well, we're going to cut out some words. Well, like, I still don't know what you're talking about on the radio when the clean version and no, that should be. Remember when you used to have to get CDs and you had to be an adult to buy that CD because certain CDs had the different pictures and the different stuff in it
I remember that. Yeah.
So who did this to us? Who allowing our kids this garbage? The people who own it.
Yeah.
Who's the FCC, the government? But yet, as soon as you do something wrong on Facebook or YouTube, they know how to pull it. They'll strike your video, your channel, or whatever.
Let me say what was crazy though. I might do my TikTok live. We talk about politics. I can't control what people say in the comments, right? So if somebody says something is their guideline, they shut me down. Social media control is real, y'all. A lot of folks don't believe in that. They're like, oh, I got limbs cut down. Like for instance, like we got the project here in Atlanta, and we do like of course we do citizen projects and stuff like that, and you'd be amazed how many people like we tell people up front, our people, right? Like, listen, we on a budget, right? And we're gonna do so much. And even with our elders, man, they know I think it's like 200 people we got a service right now. And people still want us to do more. And they know the more we do it, take away from the budget, right? So that's what I'm saying. That's part of being on code. Understand, like, look, we'll get back to you when we can. But we try to make sure we take care of the rest of the community. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, even with our elders, man, some people agree. It's crazy. Like, and I talk to the youth. A lot of the youth don't even care. Like, it's about looking good, feeling good, act like I got money, but I don't have money. And I talk to them. And a lot of them get it, but the ones I talk to, they get it. But they say, look, Mr. Mays, our friend, they want it now. They want to feel like they are part of something. And that's the problem with us. We want to feel like we are part of something, but we are like 200 years behind, man. I mean,
those people, are they contributing though? They need to contribute. Why you want something? Are you contributing?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So,
we're in the state of mind that they made us be in. Well, you cannot really do anything else. So now you can't keep people in cage. We grow up. We outgrowing the cages that they put us in 400 years ago when they created oppression for Black people. We're outgrowing those cages. So now they have to give us change. You know how like you have a little doggy at home, you potty train them, you train them in the house, you can't let them go. And then when you take them outside because you don't want that dog to run away, because you want that dog, so you keep it on a leash. Exactly. So what they've been doing is keeping us on a leash. Well, they need money, they need to get rich. So let us pave the way of how they're going to make money and how they can feel good about themselves.
Exactly. Hey, Queen, and now I'm gonna pick it back. I know we got on that. Let's pick it back to Brother Polite.
Yes.
We just talked about even it pertaining to him. Like this guy, was supposed to be a conscious black man with he had he practiced polygamy, however y'all want to call it. This man got children. He got a daughter. This is what I'm saying. He got a daughter. There's no way that I would lure another young girl. I got a daughter. One thing about me, this is how I feel. We all y'all got kids, right? So your child is my child. That's how the community supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no way that I'll even lure a young girl, try to manipulate her, do whatever. I don't even want to think about it. I got a daughter. That, to me, not even. I can't even think about something. But you know how some people like try to picture something. I can't even picture that. Like, this is a child. You got a daughter, dude. The girl, you see his daughter. She looks just like him. So I'm like, dude, did you try something on your daughter? Like,
you never know, but those be the types that do it. Those be the types. I mean, it's done. We have to tell the truth about. We want to say the conscious community. The conscious community took over, saying that they're the good part of the black community, I guess. But
exactly.
we don't. It's been said over and over again. We don't address the dark side of the black community because we've been oppressed so much, and we don't want to be criminalized anymore. We forget that there are normal crimes that is going to happen within the community. The problem with crime is that we are over policed and we are over punished for our crimes while everybody is let go. But I don't think you can ever over punish somebody for doing something to a child.
Exactly. I would say this, y'all. I dated, and I'm gonna keep it real. I got to talk about this because a lot of people can relate to this who are listening to playback. I've dated plenty of sisters, and I would say I'm in a relationship now. True enough, even when I was married, I'm not gonna put people personal business out. Put it like this: I would say I think I'm playing. I would say 65% of the women I dated have been molested by some other black man or their father or their brother. I wouldn't even BS y'all, and I couldn't believe that. I'm like, wow, like, yeah, and but like Queen Tina said, we try to keep it quiet, but we need to punish them for that. A lot of times we'll be like, oh, we will admit that we know
we picked up a lot of habits from slavery, and we don't want to talk about that.
We know. Y'all heard this term before. Don't go over Uncle house. You're not gonna stay over there. Watch him, like, because he's a pedophile, but you still let your kids go over to the house. Like, hell no, I'm not letting you go over there. Like, we need to deal with those type of black people.
Exactly.
Okay, you black, white, or whatever. You mess with a child, you mess with an underage girl. To me, punishment should be death. Bottom line, no kind of rehabilitating. That's just me. I let my
that's my opinion too, D-Mays, because what a lot of people don't know is that they inbred that. I'm not saying it don't happen, but we talk about what was done to us, but we don't talk about the PTSD and the stuff that has been passed down through us because of slavery, white supremacy, and oppression. Remember the sex forms where we and those uncles who were raised by their uncles were those people who were raised by their uncles, and they were raised as young children because remember they killed the older black people. So let's think about it. Little young kids were programmed to grow up that it's okay to sleep with mama, daddy, cousins, sisters, and brothers. That is the truth that has happened to us, and we don't talk about that trauma. And it normalized us sleeping with each other when that was not us. Incest was not part of us, and we know where incest came from because we joke about those trailer park trash people who we say probably be with their cousins and their moms.
Facts. You're right. Like I said,
have diseases and like that, but it was passed down. This is historic. This is true. This is history. This is why they want to erase history, because they need the black man to look like the enemy. But it's a disgrace when a black man does, or a black woman does to their people what we are fighting against white supremacy for doing to us.
And what made me so mad about Brother Polite, this guy stood up here and said out his own mouth, this is his word, the black woman is God. We know what he meant when he said that. We know that
repeating words, just like I don't know what happened to Angie. He repeating words. Grand Rising, Queen, Lioness. I haven't heard from you in so long. Lioness Crown.
Oh, what's up? It's Jay. What's up?
Jay, love you, Queen.
And
But
the crazy part about it is this guy knows this man got a daughter. See, y'all can't relate to this right now. Y'all are women, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But as a black man, as a father, like my daughters, like I'm so protective of my daughters. You know what I'm saying? Like even they grown now. My daughter, like I went down to Albany State to help my daughter move out her apartment. She's a grown woman. You know what I'm saying? She 19, maybe 20. And she has some little shorts on. I'm like, hey, what's up with that? Your shorts need to be a little longer. She's like, Dad, really? I said, look, I get it. I know I know you're adult, but just out of respect. She already had it on. She know I was coming, so I get it. But still, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, okay, I'm not a fool. Your kids gonna do their things. Like we did our thing when we were young. You know what I'm saying?
yes, but let
kids
do kids things with kids.
Yeah. But when you know I'm coming,
out of kids' business.
Exactly. When you know I'm coming, respect. Like my parents just passed away. My dad died last year in December. My mom just died a couple months ago in February. I slipped up a couple of times and cursed from my parents. I mean, everybody raised different. It's cool, but just out of respect because I know that ain't the way they raised us. Even though my parents was there, and my look, I didn't want for nothing, but I was in the streets because my partners, peer pressure got me in the streets. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on one second. Queen Lioness, if you're still here, I dropped the link. If you have anything you want to say, I put the link in the chat. But go ahead, Queen.
Yeah. And I always tell people I had the best parents in the world. Like my father never cursed around us. My mom, she did her thing. My mom funny. I ain't gonna lie, not try to be emotional. My mom, like, this woman was cool. She told me everything about a woman. You know what I'm saying? My dad was laid back, but he was the best man. I mean, when I say, when my sister always talk about it, my dad was the best father ever. Like, my dad, I don't think my daddy passed away at the funeral. I ain't trying to get into all this, y'all, but I gotta throw this out there for respect. My dad, at his funeral, he didn't have no enemies. Nobody had nothing bad to say about him. He had no dirt on him because he just believed in his people. Like my dad believed it. He one of them black people that really believe that we can unify as all. It don't matter. Like he wants to unify here in America, Africa, everywhere. How he raised us. You know what I'm saying? He believed that black people could unify. But I remember I told him, I said, look, Dad, I said, I get it. I feel you. I know how you raised us. He said that, asked me, he said, D, what's the relationship with black people and Africans and all that? I said, look, Dad, like, I said, it ain't just a point of Africans and black America. I said, black people got their problem here in America. Africans need to take care of their problem. They're not connected. I know when y'all was in the cities and stuff, y'all had the whole thing like, power to the people and all that. But black people need to have their business here, and our brothers and sisters over in the diaspora need to have their business. Then we come together. He said, I agree with you. And he said, it hurt my heart because I thought we can all come together. I said, no, we never been a monolith. You understand it? Like, even going back to the POLIGHT situation, I tell a lot of people like this. I talked about this in a podcast a couple months ago. Black people have inherited a lot of European ways of thinking when it comes to sex. We have we can talk all that junk all day. Let's keep it real. Let's be honest, we all in here did some stuff. You know what I'm saying? We married and in relationships and all that. We all have did some freaky stuff, but a lot of stuff we do, we inherit from white people. Let's keep it real. A lot of stuff we do is not natural that black people would normally do, so and then you have these thoughts in your head, you see a woman, good example today. I was at a Falcons, man, I'm glad we talking about this tonight. I was at a Falcons party. I'm a Falcon fan, I ain't gonna lie. So we was at this party at the house. Some people, like 100 of us, right? And the sister who hosted us at her house, her birthday this weekend. Her daughter, she's a grown woman. She's probably 25 years old. She's a grown woman. But out of respect, they let me know that the way your mama raised you was different because there's no way my daughter would be up here. She was a girl. She's a good girl. She's not bad. She's real respectable and everything. You know what I'm saying? But you walking around with your cheeks hanging out. Like, why? Like I don't know if her dad was there. Like, even if your mom was there, there's no way. My daughter,
they have stripped the black woman of her crown And
Her cheeks were hanging out,
the only way these black women think they're worth anything is to show who has the bigger butt, who has the bigger body. It's okay to have a nice body, but we did not advertise it. If black women don't see you should be more than your body, I don't know what to tell you, because D-Maze, you said we did a lot of stuff, but we dressed nice. It was adult stuff and it was kid stuff. We weren't mixed together.
Is that, and it's sad because I felt so bad, like because I know the girl in her 20s, she could be my daughter, but she kept coming, she walking between people, getting the food and everything. You're cheating some man face, he's gonna look. It's just natural. He's gonna look because it's in his face. Like I'm like, damn, like I'm not. A
female gonna look like, what is you doing?
But then you have to think too about how we're over sexualized. So even when we go back to the Brother Polite situation, we are very over sexualized. When you have situations, had that young lady not had that DNA on her, they may have been calling her all kinds of horrors and thoughts in the courtroom. So because it's Black women, we deserve that, we're loose. And that's the conversation that we need to be having with our young children, our young women, even our young men, you being looked at like that. Everyone wants to look beautiful. Men want to be attractive. People want to be attractive. They want to be noticed. They want to be cared about, and all this confusion that's going on in the world that's playing into our children's well-being is important. So if you've heard the conversation where Cardi B says that she called her daughter listening to her music and she snatched that crap off real quick, then why are you asking Cardi B why she's not being a role model for your daughter? Exactly. And they're looking at you like it's your own kids, you know what I'm saying? But you'll still listen to her music though. You'll still listen to it though. But she's telling you that her not hers. Not hers.
Not her Puerto Rican daughter. Not her, but your Black child is good enough because she's catering to the Black race, not the Hispanic race. Just because Hispanics like rap music, just because white people like rap music, just because everybody likes rap music represents Black people. And when Cardi B, Gorilla, Sexy Red, all of them are doing it.
But Nicki Minaj said the same thing, though. Nicki Minaj said the same thing. How do you feel when she had an interview? How do you feel about, young girls listening to your music? And what she say? I'm not their role model. So ask their parents that. I rocked with that. I don't listen to her music, but I rock with that. Don't ask me about how somebody else's kids feel about this. Go ask his parents.
We asked her because the parents don't have no say. So let's go back. When Black people started breaking it and saying little sexy stuff in their music and rapping, the FCC, the radio, the people who control the radio, there were rules and regulations. You cannot say certain stuff on the radio.
Right.
They have eased in. You can say the N word. You could say the B word. You could say everything. You could say shoot a Black person, kill, do this. A Black woman and her children ain't nothing but thieves and hoes. But don't say a Jew.
Right. Don't. And you know what? Going back to what you said earlier, though, good point.
Don't say none of those. So the rules only apply to everybody, but it's all open. It's an open broil on Black people.
You know what?
I agree.
I would say this, y'all. No, I don't think nobody.
Y'all start turning them radios and saying no.
What's going on, Mr. P? What's going on, Mr. P? But the thing is, nobody talked about. I don't even think they talked about on Q Butter. Now Q Butter was on like 10 hours last night. Crazy. BGX and all them was on last night. Y'all saw the video?
No, I didn't see it.
Yeah, it was on like 10 hours. I was listening a little bit at 2:00 in the morning. People was in and out on it, but one thing I don't think nobody touched on was Brother Polite's wives. He got 4 wives, right? His main wife.
They ain't even his wives. They women walking around saying that they're wives.
Exactly.
They ain't even married these people.
You're right. Okay. Even the women that you're supposed to be your wives, dude, what's her name? What's the sister, the dark skinned sister? The one, the number one, his main one.
I don't know their names. I try not to fill my head space with a bunch of garbage.
Dude, you up here, your woman, she can't say nothing. She only thing she can do she can hide her head in shame. They might have froze his assets, so you might have go back to New York and live a regular life. I hope you.
But where them access come from? Black folks who followed him. Exactly. You paid him to be the egotistical child molester that he is.
You know what?
And then they say this is not the first little girl. Now, from my understanding, and I didn't
allegedly
before this. They said he was accused before.
Allegedly, yeah, you're right. And
allegedly.
Exactly. You know, just for YouTube purposes. And the sad part about it is, this man, you know, like people follow this guy, but the thing is, it toward the end, time he went to LA, you seeing him in pictures with white girls with dashikis, blonde headed white girl.
Because the black struggle is a joke to these predator activists.
Exactly.
They are not real activists. If these activists are not talking about plans that include you and your children or your grandchildren, then they are not an activist. Somebody sitting here telling you, unless they're giving you information that you can go out and actually use, not selling you hope. These people have moved from the pulpit to the YouTube channels, and y'all doing the same thing you did in church.
Yeah.
The pastors are known to mess with people in church too.
Facts.
Who was that pastor that died? I think he died with the little boys coming out before that. Ain't no telling how long it was going on. What was it?
Eddie Long.
Was it the Bishop
Eddie Long? Yeah.
Eddie Long.
Bishop Eddie Long, the long way. Them little boys. You know what I'm saying? How long I went to church. I seen it up and close myself. I know some cousins, the pastor was all around. This is something common in the black community, but y'all always think because we are in war and we're fighting that you cannot tell the dirty side of the black community, the dirty side of black activists.
Yeah, exactly. And let's be honest, there's a lot of people being misled now. You know,
being misled because nobody really got no hope for black people. Ain't nobody but us making plans for black people because we putting our money where our mouth is.
And look,
they're buying land to do a retreat. They buying land to put $1 million house on so they can go on YouTube and show you they marble counters and show you how they're living with your money.
Exactly.
Clout chasing.
Even Sarnella even came out and said that the conscious community is over. But see, I don't want to talk about this guy, but I got to keep it real. I'm gonna be the first one to say
this say it's your opinion.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the first one to say this. I know a lot of them been thinking about this. Sarnetta is a joke. I got no beef with his brother, but listen, y'all up here doing debates. What the hell debates doing for the black community? Like y'all debating
because
about
it's easier to sit on video and collect money than to actually get out here and face the people that you claim you're speaking for.
Is that you? Even though you brought out Brother Polite, Q Butter, that's a solid brother. I respect Q Butter. I respect what he's doing. Some people you did bring out that was solid, but majority of the people you bring out, they just there to get clicks and views and debate. Debate what? You're on a white man platform. Like we on a white man platform. See, one thing I always call that shit out. But one thing about us, we building our own thing. You can go to our
buying land because we building a black retreat. If anybody know, we put our own money up. We've been putting our own money up, not trying to be funny, and I just call it out. The rest of everybody that's in this, our micronation, we small but growing. Be in this micronation is trying to put us first, but all of us here, between me and Kathy, we done put up about $20,000 with buying land, and we want to. We're building a black retreat.
And I want to say this to piggyback off what you said, D-Maze. Like when we talk about people being solid, like we mentioned, like Michiax, we mentioned Queen Amidala, we mentioned Q Butter, we mentioned some people, you know what I'm saying? Then we do have opinions. So, you know, we individually have opinions about different people, you know. So when we say somebody is solid, we're telling people right now that we're solid, and we are. And my point to that is that, you know, you don't put your faith and your hope into something or somebody if you're not a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like we keep expecting other people, well, this person seems solid, so I'll just support this person. I'll just, you know, rally with this person. But are you involved in what this person's doing? And like, even like with this, like with the United Empires of Akibalan, we are buying land, we are building a micronation, we are making changes, you know, individually and then collectively, you know what I'm saying? But in our collectiveness, we still do individual things to make a difference in our own, you know what I'm saying? So that's how we have to start operating, that, you know, we want to hope that everybody does good. We want to hope everybody does the right thing. You know, for me, I'm not disappointed no more. You know, I'm not. You know, you do some crazy stuff, then that's just what you do. You know, people seem solid until they not. Polite seems solid till he wasn't. You know, what's the face with this money scam? You know, Jay Moore seems solid till you not. Vicky Diller seems solid till you not.
Look at what they're doing with the money. They buying cars, they buying white labels. Gucci, Versace, Chanel, those are white people names. They're buying white people and label, and then they showing you, look what the F I did with your money while you was working hard, and you're still gonna get beat by the police if you get pulled over the wrong way, and you're still burying your child because there's gun violence in the black community. You still going to make sure that your child gonna be working at McDonald's, because though your child is smart, your child is stuck in a system of public schools, and you can't do nothing because you got to go to work every day. These people are not trying to pull you out no hole. I'm sorry, Queen. Go ahead.
No, you're right. You're right. You know what? My husband, I'm gonna say this. I'm laying my plane. My husband was watching something. My king was watching something, and it was talking about this man. I think his name was Dr. Bruce Alexander. He's a white man, older white man. He did an experiment with rats, okay? And he had the rats in like the, like a little, little rat thing, a little rat house, whatever they call it. And he would give them one tube had water in it, just water, and the other tube had water and morphine in it. And he was trying to see the effects of morphine, how addiction works, okay? So you all look up Dr. Bruce Alexander. Again, he's a white man, but it made sense, okay? So he did an experiment, excuse me, and the rats eventually started drinking the morphine water, and they got addicted, and they wouldn't drink the regular water, and they were killing themselves. So he went on with the experiment, and he built the cages where they had like wheels and like tubes to like move around in, still put both types of water in there. But because they were active in doing other stuff, they weren't focused on the morphine water. My point to that is, we look at all the drugs and all the violence that corrupts our Black communities, but we don't have anything. You had the YMCA, but it's so few far in between. You still got to pay for it. Even the Boys and Girls Club, you got to pay for it. Yep. There's no centers where you can be safe, where if somebody has to work 2 jobs, there's a safety network. There's something where these children are involved, where you don't want to do drugs. You don't want to be in the streets gangbanging. It is very, very, the propaganda is real. The strategy is real. And so the solutions are real. And that's what we need, are solutions to where we know these problems. What do we do? What do we do about these predators? Not just sexual predators, financial predators, spiritual predators, mental predators. What do we do with these people? Nobody's trying to call anybody out, but you know what? You know who you are, and you don't get a pass. You don't get a pass because you are destructive and you're a menace.
Some Black
you said what, Queen?
All they do is say that I'm a Black business, shop for me, and then soon as you spend the money, they taking that money and they going to live just as lovely, going on vacations to white places, buying white labels, buying everything. They not giving back. It's like it's time out.
It is.
Can I say something real quick?
Oh,
there you go. The Honorable Mr. P.
Hey. Mr.
P. I don't like to interrupt y'all when y'all on a roll. So
I was going to ask you, was you connected? I didn't hear from you. Go ahead, take it. We talk
absolutely
about disguise as activists and all this stuff. Go ahead.
What I was going to say to all of this was, I love how you brought up the morphine water, because we a community that's been living off morphine water for 400 years. A lot of the stuff that I'm hearing, that I can hear y'all outraged, and I can hear the things we upset about. It's a dual thing that we doing right now, though. Not only are we trying to do what we can do physically for our people, buying property, creating the place where we can go, but there's a mental struggle uphill as well.
Yes, it is, Mr. P.
And so every bit of what we talking about, the teaching, the girls with their cheeks out, the guys who are doing it, the practices that we have that we've picked up from European practices, the buying white labels, all of this stuff is the stuff that's accumulated within our people from living in this system. It's really a whole deprogramming thing that has to go along with what we're doing. And I promise it's a very slow thing. So it's not going to be as simple as, all right, let me just be very honest. As a person who's been part of hip hop since I was 9 years old, like I said, I've been in hip hop for 40 something years. and us talking about, to be correct, the shape of a woman has been part of hip hop since I was 9 years old. Us talking about sex has been part of hip hop. Because I always tell people, my generation is a different kind of generation. Everybody else's everybody else's oldies were like the Four Tops and the Temptations and the Blind Boys of Alabama. My oldies are NWA and Prince and Two Live Crew. I'm from a different era that we grew up. It's been talked about. What hasn't been talked about ever is so what do we do with that? Where did we go with this? Why do you have your cheeks out? Why are y'all applauding her for having her cheeks out, but then you want to go get the girl who's dressed like little church girl? Why are you saying she okay to sleep with, but she okay to marry, but then she's still okay to cheat with? All of that needs to be talked about. Why are y'all talking about how we need to build black businesses and black banks, but y'all keep running to Gucci and Louis and Versace? Labels that have famously said, we don't care about your money.
Mr. P.
Yes, sir.
Question. Be honest. Think about what I'm about to ask you.
Okay.
Have most black people lost their way? Yes.
Yeah.
Never found it. We ain't lost it. We never found it.
It was stripped
Exactly.
from us.
It's since we've been here, we didn't have it. Even when we had the church community, we learned too much garbage from the Europeans and did the same things. Even when we had our black Marcus got tore down because the European stuff that he had in his head still kept tearing up what we do. Even when we have what we have, we still keep messing it up because we still keep trying to do it like the people who oppressed us in the first place.
Hey, hold on, y'all. Let me tell you something scary. I'm gonna lay some shit. I always said this back when I was on my stupid shit back in the days when I was out in the streets. One thing about knowledge, you can be drunk, you can be high, but when that shit start hitting you, you'll sober up. I was feeling good. I'm sobered up because it's you know what I'm talking about, right?
But let's be honest.
Matter of fact, it's just the women. It's in of us. Have you ever been feeling good when you start reading, start getting knowledge? You can be like, damn.
You ever been at the club and something serious happened? And you got to sober up real quick.
Yeah, you be like, wow, like it's to let you know it's a mental thing, like this, because you trying to get away from reality. But then you like, hold on, this is too real. I gotta get back to reality. I was feeling good like 20 minutes ago. Right now, I listen. I drank a lot of stuff y'all today. I don't even feel it right now because this is more important. So I can separate that bullshit and come back to reality. Like
it's
this
like the morphine water that
Hey,
exactly.
Hey, dog. Hey, you saying I killed your buzz? Is that what you saying? I feel real bad about that.
Listen, let me tell you, bro. Listen, when I read back in the 90s, when I read the ISIS papers, I never forget. Some of the days I was on my street shit back in the day. But when I used to go home and read, bro, it took all of it away. Like I was feeling good. I'm hot. I used to smoke. And I'm like, damn, like I don't feel it no more because this sister is putting so much knowledge in my head. Like it's overriding all that. You know what I'm saying? Like that was scary to me. Like a light bulb blew up in my head. Like.
But that's what we need for our people right now because our people are out here high on crime, high on sexuality. Like I know a lot of black men would not be doing. They got black men to sexualize women. A lot of black men. I'm not saying that black men are not sexual like any man, but a lot of black men were satisfied with they wanted if they like polygamy or had they wanted to. But black men were not the way that they are today. With this over sexualized, and they don't even. And a lot of black men don't even know what they want because, like, after you get all these women, what's next? The men?
Can I talk to that? Can I talk to the sexual? All right. Oh, there's so much with that one. So typically, you know how I do, sir. So y'all done made me pick up my phone and literally walk out my seat because I'm talking. Typically, when we grow up, we in 4th grade, 5th grade, and you start noticing girls, we have the same sort of sweet, innocent thoughts that everybody else has. She cute, blah, 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 blah. Somewhere around that time, fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade, you start hearing from your older brothers or your uncles, or you mess up and discover your dad's porn things. And I heard a minister once say, it's messed up that for so many of us, the devil teach us about sex. Because you pick up so much stuff in your era where you needed to just learn the natural stuff. And by the time you realize how much of that stuff was stuff that you shouldn't have got in the first place, it's ingrained in you. This is not me just saying that just because I've read about it academically. This is me knowing because I went through that. I'm one of them people who actually, I probably needed a lot more supervision than I got, and I had a little bit too much freedom in my life. So I knew a lot more stuff in the 7th and 8th grade than I should have knew, even though I hadn't really done anything. But you learn the things that you learn from the media, from pornography, from people who don't mean you well, and you pick that up and you don't really know how to drop any of that. And you know why you don't know how to drop any of that? Because we missing that thing in our community that we had, that we're supposed to have. The elders and the brothers who tell you, nah, young sir, this is what you do. This is how you treat women.
The elders and the brothers bring down.
It's not there. It's not there. We miss it in our community because the only thing that comes close to it is like coaching when you play a sport or something, and they don't. By the time you get to 14 and 15, by the time you get to the point where people start trying to talk to you about sex in the 9th and 10th grade, it's too late.
Yep.
We done picked up everything that we should have picked up between the ages of 12 and 15. By the time we get to 16, it's just application.
And it's not the parents, it's society, because the government and the places that allow our kids to get access to it while we're working, the government has changed the rules that allow our children to have access to this garbage.
Can I speak to that one too?
Yes.
I work in the medical industry. These parents, everybody's just going back to school. Parents are coming up to the job needing their kid's shot record. I got to keep telling them, I can't give you your kid's shot record. Your kid's 13. You need to come down here with your kid. Well, they're at school. I know. Well, she live in my house. I know that too. But I can't give you access to her medical record without you being here, or his. And one dude was down there with his son, his 12-year-old son. And he was his son was signing everything, and he said, "This is going to be bad for these kids." I said, "I know."
Yeah,
that's the law.
Out the way. We keep the law allowed slavery. The law allowed sex farms where Black people were sexually abused because
it's all legal.
The law allowed robbery of Black farms and lands. The law allowed men to do everything and didn't allow women. That was white, Black, or whatever. The law is allowing this, and they're using the law to come in, giving your kids authority over you. And we can't see this is not even a Black or white thing. This is a capitalist. This is a
societal thing. Because and I hear you saying it's a capitalist thing, but it is very much a socialist agenda to make it where a kid can be able to do what an adult does. Because you want them to be loyal to the state.
But you can't sign your name, though.
And
you can't sign your name.
POLIGHT comes back into play because it makes it okay for people like him to do what he does. When you say a 13-year-old can sign paper, when you say a 13-year-old can pick their own sexual agenda, when you say a 13-year-old can do this, you move out the age limit where this person is no longer an innocent child. They're an adult like me. So this grown, nasty man, like the ages of Brother POLIGHT in them, can come over there and take advantage of the weak mind of a child.
Let me speak to this one too. Because this is prevalent in our community. Anybody recognize this song? She was only 17, but she was sexy.
Yeah.
Anybody?
All these songs that we ain't know what predatory songs.
That was Rick James. Like when I was 14.
But how old was Rick James when he was singing it? Because you got
exactly.
where these people are. Remember, our people lied about their age, so it was a lot of young guys in older people positions. So these people at the time, they were nothing but 17, 18, and 19. So how old were they when they wrote
it's possible. It's possible Rick was younger when he wrote that song. I guarantee you Rick was a grown man. And I wasn't going to say grown man. I was going to say something else when he wrote that song. Now, there's a verse where LL was saying that he went to the high school to pick up this chick. And he's like, I told my man, stop the Jeep. She's only 17, but yo don't sleep. Now, in L's defense, L might have been all of 19 or 20 when he said that song. Maybe. But I was listening to something the other day. I was driving, taking my friend home. What were we listening to? It was some gangster song. It was NWA. It was an NWA song. And MC Ren was rapping, and he was talking about how he was at the movies with a girl, and so the girl didn't want to do anything. So he got out the car and got in the car with a bunch of these other gang banging dudes who had this girl in the car, and they all running the train, and the girl's 14. And we driving, and my homeboy in the car said, did this N-word just say she was 14? I said, yup.
And we've been tricked because who allows this music that was dished out to us to listen to? The same people that is passing the laws to allow pedophilia to be okay, to normalize it.
Yep. If I normalize pedophilia, then I normalize for a child that this is okay. Oh, no. Before I even get to that one, let me get to polite.
What one moment before you do that? Okay. Tradition said there's so many songs like this. Yes, we got to start listening to our songs because it's more and stuff. And and then Ariel CH said there are so many polites out here who have not been caught. Go ahead.
Okay. Let me speak to why they haven't been caught. There are two ends of the spectrum. On the one end of the spectrum, we have how we have taken in too much Europeanness in our nature. So, and this may make some of us uncomfortable. So if it does, bear with me in this conversation. But to move to the other end of that perspective, a lot of us in the conscious community have embraced polygamy. And a lot of these men, knowing a little bit of something about these kinds of lifestyles, I'm going to say the same thing. A lot of people who claim that they're being polygamous are not polygamists. They're just people who want an excuse to put you know what in more than one person. A polygamous person means that you're taking on the responsibility of being married to more than one person. That does not just mean sleeping with more than one person. That means you carrying. You deciding you're going to carry the emotional, spiritual, financial, and physical burden of having more than one wife. Polite was not doing that. Exactly. And it makes it real easy because we could say, oh, we're going to bring in another one, and that one's too young. And there are so many reasons why this can work for people's warped mentality. But bottom line is, Polite he was open in plain sight. He was showing us who he was. We just didn't believe it because we were thinking from the polygamous perspective, and especially for us as guys.
We were thinking with an oppressed mind, like all these fake predatory activists disguised. I mean, these predators disguised as activists come and prey on our ignorance.
What we're doing right now, and I need to explain this to anybody who happens to be listening, and maybe it's just a reminder to us. Let me take the American myth for a second. According to the American myth, people came here from an oppressed place to come to a place where they could build a new nation unto themselves. According to that myth, they wanted to come here so they could live how they wanted to live, worship how they wanted to worship, and be how they wanted to be without the system that they were under. That's what the myth says. I'm not worrying about it whether it's true or not right this second. I'm saying that's what the myth says. Because that's what we need to do. We can't do what we need to be. We can't be what we need to be as Black people in this system. It has been too corrupted. We have to literally get somewhere else, away from them, away from the people who are too far gone to get out of that. Away from the labels.
Safe spaces. Don't mean to cut you off. That's what we're building. And like I said, real quick, we've already put up $20,000 on land, and we have to start building small pockets of safe places where we can get out of America, but we can control the narrative in our private.
Exactly. And you have to be on your guard against a polite. You have to be on your guard against the predators. You have to be on your guard against the niggas that would come in and tear it down. You have to be on your guard against the people who are so beholden to white oppression and normalcy that they would come and tear down everything that you have. You really, literally are building a completely new mindset.
You got a question.
I've been gone for a minute. You killing.
You got a question, Mr. P. It said, can the brother please explain by what he meant by Europeanness with the regards to pedophilia? And I could just say this is because we've been sexualized by white people, and that's what it was during slavery and during the time. Even when you look at Pocahontas, they glorify him and Pocahontas being together when she was assaulted. So go ahead, King.
By all means, part of Greco-Roman society was the love for youth. It was considered to be profitable and normal for an older man to take that younger boy and make that his person who he was with. Yeah, you still go get married because you got to have kids because we need heirs and you need your society. But your side piece was often a boy that was Roman or Greek. And because the church came out of Greco-Roman society, you saw that a lot with the upper class, with the priests, and with the religious people. And what always happens, people look at royalty and nobility and what they do and emulate it for themselves in the noble classes, because priests were considered to be upper crust, people who would take on the habits of the priests. You took on younger girls because younger girls were able to endure the hardships that you had. They could give you more kids over more time. And so the younger a girl was, the more desirable a girl was. In some of these societies, you even married her way before she could have her period. You just married her and you stored her for a little while until she bled. And then you can go ahead and, what do they say? Is it commensurate?
Breed her like an animal.
Well, that too. So what happened was, what we have done, a lot of people were like, well, that was in the Bible. Please understand, the Bible is an Eastern book, not a Western book. The Bible is not written. People have injected that Greco-Romanness onto the Bible, onto scripture. That's why they've considered women so weak for so long, because that's what Greco-Roman culture taught you. In the Eastern cultures, in Black cultures, women were strong. Women were warriors alongside their men. Men are the stronger, and we do the strong stuff. But you didn't consider your woman some weak little thing. You protected her because she's precious, not because she's frail. What I'm saying is, we stopped doing our protecting. We took on too much of what they do. The white woman on the plantation wasn't doing nothing. She was sitting there, fanning herself, calling slaves off of the plantation to come pleasure her when she needed.
Exactly.
Every bit as much a part of the oppression as the master was. Yes, sir.
So I knew you went back to the Roman Greco era. So you familiar with Caligula, the movie Caligula, right? You familiar with that?
Caligula was is he the fourth or the third emperor? Augustus was first, then it was Tiberius, and then I believe it was Caligula. And Caligula got assassinated because he was, when you think about wild emperors and out of control and all the sex stuff, Caligula's the one they be thinking about. He wasn't the worst one, but he's one of the ones people think about.
And what he was doing with his sister and all that, you familiar with that story too, right?
Caligula messed with his sister. Nero messed with his sister. A whole lot of them did because, and this is an ancient thing, period. But a lot of people used to always believe that you had to keep the bloodline pure. So you had to have your relations and your marriages to people who were directly related to you. Sadly, that includes Kemet.
Yeah.
That Kemet did that. And that's why when you'll find a lot of these mummies of pharaohs or people like that, they'll have these abnormalities and deformities that clearly have come from generations of incest.
Even though to the Rothschild family with the biggest sister.
The Rothschilds did not believe in outsiders coming in and taking their generational wealth. So because they didn't let outsiders come in, you marry your first cousins.
Facts.
Yeah, you keep it pure blood, and you don't understand our wealth. You don't understand our power.
Someone said Kemet started bestiality. I don't believe that.
I haven't found any evidence of it, and you got to be really careful with a lot of stuff that you look at Kemet, because a lot of things are symbolic rather than actual. I wouldn't have believed the other part had I not looked at the DNA and said, these are things you can only explain away with that. I don't believe that.
Or until we start getting our own researchers. I just say, before we say this and that, when it comes down to a lot of stuff, until we get black researchers, I think there was only one black guy that was awarded to go over there and excavate over in Africa. We have to start doing our own research and stop letting them tell us what these symbols mean and what the different stuff
That's
mean.
what I respect.
Very, very true.
Hey, this is what I respect about our master teachers of Dr. Dr. Henry Clark, John Henry Clark, and Dr. Ben. Them guys went over to Africa. They dedicate their life. They didn't have no life. Them guys dedicate their life with researching everything about ancient Africa. So I will trust their knowledge, you know what I'm saying, for anybody else. So yeah.
But a lot of their knowledge didn't even come with them traveling over there. A lot of their knowledge, they got almost all their knowledge from white researchers. And this is the only reason I say this is because I look at a lot of science. We've been taught over and over and over and over and over and over again that we came from the Big Bang. Well, they just sent a satellite up there, and all these years they just found out they're wrong about the Big Bang. Yeah. They came and invaded places where people could have told us what the writing on the wall was, but we are getting interpretations from people who see us as animals. When they interpret the people working together to build the pyramids, we are told that they were slaves. That's because look at who's telling our stories. Exactly. So I don't care what they say until we get black scholars that kind of look at it and see it and then start telling us, yeah, this means this and that. I'm not trusting anything that they told us, and not trusting is not going to hurt or help us.
What's that, brother?
What happened in Kemet and all this stuff is not helping us. We're going back and forth about what it said. Where we at now, we need safe places. We need to stop the garbage because it's not natural to sleep with an animal or a child.
Is that? I will say this though, push back on you, Dr. Ben. He did descend from the original Jews. Remember, Dr. Ben is not from America, so you know.
But where did he get his books from? Remember, black people weren't allowed to read and stuff, so you still got to look. Did he go out there and excavate? Did he go be an archaeologist? Did he really? Because they claimed that they found the Rosetta Stone, and that's how they broke the code to tell us what the writing on the walls were. But my thing is stop depending on our open enemy for everything. We can't.
Rest in peace to our brother Roko. I can't never get that brother name. What's his name? Rest in peace, Roko Nashidi, the brother that died, the archaeologist. What's his name? That's his name, right? Roko Nashidi. Damn. I know he went to Mexico to break.
Well, whatever he is, the thing is that one thing I learned, whether we're from Africa, whether what happened in Kemet, wherever it started from, it's not helping us now. Right now, we got.
I agree. Yeah.
We got all these bad habits. We are doing things that is not becoming of kings and queens, as we call ourselves, because I just heard that what is his name? The KRS-One are starting to say that we shouldn't even use the word queen. It was interpreted back then, blah, blah, blah. It was spelled this way, and queen meant whore. Now he's saying that if we call ourselves queen, we're whores. We so caught up in the past that we cannot move forward to the future. Y'all ain't heard that new video that got out?
I love Chris. I really love Chris. I looked up to Chris a long time. That's garbage.
And I mean,
I'm not rolling with that one.
But I think we get too distracted along.
I know what Chris meant, so I'll roll with the spirit of that.
No, he specifically said stop using the word queen.
I'm gonna say this though,
and it's like we get caught up. That's why we couldn't even call our flock, because one minute the flock was called people of color, and when you say, "Hey, people of color, come here," everybody that was black was come. But then we're like, "Hey, don't let them call you people of color. That's an insult." Call them black people. Don't call them. Don't call them Negroes. It's like we can't call our flock because nobody knows their name. And we keep
my reason I don't use people of color isn't because I don't know that's who we are. That's not it.
I know it.
My reason why I don't use people of color is because everybody and their mama started deciding they was people of color and start getting stuff from us rather than. That's why I don't. I'm looking at people who very clearly European.
They keep changing our group. We went from people of color, niggers to Negro to black, so now we African Americans. You can't call your flock if the flock don't know the language.
Hey, Quentin, that's why I said the whole thing about FBA, ADOS, and Freeman. It just uses all the different names. It's just a new day. It's just new turn. Certain people came up with a name. Got all these black people hyped up on his name on Twitter and fan base and we call it Clubhouse and shit. I'm like, listen, y'all need to stop that game, because at the end of the day, I can say FBA right now, and they don't. When I say the word FBA, I'm FBA. I am. I'm a financial Black American. I'm ADOS and Freeman, right? But guess what? I don't feel no power in them names. Because you don't own, you have no resources, you have nothing. You just a name to get black people hyped up. Most of us on Instagram, on social media, in YouTube, yelling all this BS don't mean nothing because you don't control or own anything. So, the UEOA, that's power. That damn FBA and all that stuff don't mean nothing to me. Now I got no beef with them. I get it. But the thing is, I don't see it no different from the Hebrew Israelites or the Wabian nation. I don't see no power in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all really stop creating all these names because it don't mean anything unless you're really doing something. What y'all doing? I mean, I'm be honest. I'm not even called. I'm FBA. Anybody listen to this playback or whatever, or listen to it live, I'm from Georgia, born and raised. You know what I'm saying? A lot of folks hit me up on we call it on we call it Clubhouse. Where you from? You talking out of turn? No, I'm not talking out of turn. Y'all hyped up on some shit. Y'all, half of y'all ain't doing nothing in the community. Show me what you're doing. Send me a link what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And I respect that. But I ask them to do it, they don't do it because they just talking. They keyboard warriors, like a lot of black people on here. Keyboard warriors ain't doing nothing. Just
ain't gonna get out there in the heat and pick up nothing. Half of them don't come out their house. They go out to eat with the white people and then get on YouTube telling us what we should do. You know, if y'all are out there not making moves, or you're not in the community, don't tell us what to do.
This just gonna tell me now. I'm sure y'all know I did a video on the cleanup we did. I showed the picture. This is a black community, whatever. And this guy gonna tell me the white folks made the plastic. I'm like, are you serious? Like, so he made the plastic, but y'all gonna throw it on the ground? What the hell? Like that? I say, dude, I didn't really want to reply back, but a lot of our people think like that. I'm like, man, like I said,
we so against white people that we're against our own movement ahead. Right now, you cannot do anything. Like, okay, if we want to open a store, we probably gonna have to get products and stuff from white people. The thing is, I'm not getting ready to go get Louis Vuitton and make white people rich just for it. If I gotta build my business and I have to go through some white people, okay, because they own everything. We don't, those communities are not ours. I was all for like, hey, they not our communities, but it doesn't mean you have to dirty them up. You live there.
So question I ask y'all, I know we got into a lot. We started with Brother Polite, we go back. I'm gonna start back with him. Do you think Brother Polite had a big following. I mean, this guy had a lot of people following him. A lot of people, thousands.
Yeah, but what were they
So,
following him for?
exactly. So, do you think he set us back doing this? Do he represent a lot of?
No, he don't set us back. He just opened up our eyes in order to learn. Like I told my son today, if you don't make mistakes, you don't learn. Mistakes is like, when you learn math and how to write, you had an eraser. You erase it, you do it over. You erase it, you do it over until you learn how to write when we used to write in school. And going through life and going through this battle, we had to learn, because all life in the universe is showing us is that you think your enemy is white, but your enemy has black skin also. And your enemy can get as close. We worry about the FBI and the CIA. Everybody always, they're going to infiltrate us, because we keep thinking about the Black Panther Party, but we ain't thinking about the black people that are destroying the work right now, because a lot of black people don't see no hope. They don't see no other hope out this system. So they just want to get in this system and live just as comfortably as they can. And that is jumping onto the the black oppression bandwagon. To me, him and a lot of other ones, because I had to learn from Fly Nubian Queen here, I use it as a lesson. It opened my eyes. Without learning lessons, you won't be able to learn to fight in war.
Exactly. Yeah, man. Yeah, and I know, piggyback what you were saying earlier. And I've been saying this too. I'm glad you said that we can't worry about the past. What are we doing now? Our ancestors,
yes. What are we doing now?
In the spirit world? If they're from Africa, they're from
Jamaica, from China, Europe, wherever they from.
You're like, what we y'all doing now? We set up for y'all. We have, we know we native to this planet, and what are y'all doing? Y'all talk about all the great inventors and all that. What are y'all doing now? I'll tell people, what are we doing now? At the end of the day, the others don't mean nothing. The ancestors are gone. A lot of our parents are gone. A lot of our grandparents are gone. What are we doing to keep the legacy going? You know what I'm saying? What are we going to leave behind?
We gotta have places for ourselves and your communities. As soon as you set up something on their block in these neighborhoods and these communities, they own it. The only thing we're going to be able to do is get plots of land that we own, and on that plot of land is like a mall. You put whatever you want in your mall. If you want learning, if you want mental health training, if you want family bonding, if you want whatever you want, we have to build those safe places. And that's what we are doing as the United Empires of Akibalon. As you see that we got it scrolling, we are building the Akibalon Black Retreat. We are building that in the mountains of Arizona. That's what we are going to be focusing on raising money for, because as in me, Kathy, and the rest of us that has been working together, we've already put up $20,000 for the land that we are putting together to be able to build a retreat, because the only hope is to get our people out of these ruts. Everybody can't come at the same time, but it'll be a place where everybody can benefit from coming back and forth. If you think we are bull, we are not we are not one of those. What is Jay Morrison, Tulsa Fund? I wish I had those millions of dollars. I would have been showed y'all how to build black people back up. But it seems like we're stuck in this algorithm of being following the wrong people and not trusting the right ones. Right. We trust shiny things.
Oh yeah.
Diamond is not shiny until you dig it up out the ground and then clean it up and clean it up. Right now, we are diamond in the rough, because we ain't coming up packaged to you like the pimp and all this shiny rhetoric talk and all this stuff. You don't see it because it's not packaged on white people platforms. One thing about a lot of these people, Brother Polite and all of them, they grace the platforms of these white people. I say it's something suspicious when white people start praising you on their media platforms. Because if you really doing something for black people, that means every black person could benefit. Umar building a school, but my grandkids will never see it because I don't know where the school at. I can't get to there. Q Butter, I love what he's doing and stuff, and he can help anybody black all over, except for you have to withdraw your kids from school so you could be in his school program. And a lot of people don't have babysitters, but I suggest that black people, if you can find a way with your family and get organized and get homeschooling, go through Q Butter's Zayex Institute. Like Tariq Nasheed, y'all gave all this money. Tariq Nasheed was the man when he was bringing Hidden Colors, and I appreciate him for bringing together knowledgeable people. But the museum thing is where he hit y'all at, and then you can look at the how to be a pimp book and stuff. He's gathering all this money in the Black community, but what could it do for you? So we really have to start following people. Boyce Watkins, he had the Black business school. I went through there. I paid. I was a fly new big queen. He ain't give us not one damn discount. I had to pay like everybody else. I took one class and like, wait a minute. Then it was over. I took the next class and stuff. Do you see a bunch of people coming out there? They gave money. Did you see a bunch of people coming out there saying Boyce Watson class helped me so much? No. So we got to start being real about where we're putting our money. It ain't now. It's not just about spending your money with white people. It's the Black people you spend it with too. Because they'll come up here and tell you, oh, yeah, I'm a Black business, support me. And then they turn right around and do ratchet stuff. They buying Sexy Red and Sukahana music and following them at concerts and stuff. They paying $500 Beyonce tickets. It's some frivolous spending that we need to stop if we want something better. And the quicker we do it, the quicker we all can see ourselves together. I don't care if it's just in one place. I don't care if it's just the 300 of us. If 300 of us got together and gave 100 a month, we could run a retreat. That's if we want it. On that retreat, we're going to have relaxation, mental health, bonding, things for our children. And it could be, it's basically going to be a vacation spot because it's not everybody. They took all the land. There's not enough land for us right now until we build more that everybody can come live at. But it'll be a place where in the back of your mind, when you think about going on vacation or you think about getting away with a family, there's going to be a place for you and your family to come to. It's other people building this for you. Because when you start learning skill building together as Black people, then you go back to your communities and take that back to your communities. We got to change our minds of our people. And it's only going to take us, stepping out of our comfort zone. Stop going to Disney World every year. If you're going to give to something that you think, that you know, that you feel like that it's going to help benefit you, not because somebody is famous or YouTube famous. Look at Michi. She did the Black Agenda. We went there. Why? Because she had other people that was giving out skills. I learned, it's still ringing in my head. I learned about the water and the fire. Me and Angie, and I'm pretty sure it was more. I couldn't get to every class. Those are the things you need to invest in where you can take something away. Stop being mad with people. Look at everybody else's conferences and look at the conferences that you can bring something from there. You want somebody just popular in your face and telling you to spend so much money on their classes and give them money, and you turn around and you watching them live their life while you still at work and have nowhere to go. But people like Brother Polite and all of them, and I use Brother Polite because he didn't steal money out the Black community. He stole innocence, and he got a whole bunch of people still following him where it's ridiculous, where Black people cannot depend on those people who are still following Brother Polite because they're following a child molester. There is something wrong with that. Y'all cancel R. Kelly, even though nobody can prove R. Kelly was with nobody underage. They said R. Kelly kidnapped people. These women and people gave their children or brought their kids to R. Kelly, and he was young then. But y'all cancel everybody else, but y'all can't cancel Brother Polite when you know that the evidence shows semen, and then how insulting he is, and he knows that he can cast a spell with his words. He came and did a video talking about the charges was dropping, had a whole party. If that's not an insult on a Black intelligence, I don't know what is, and I land my plane.
And we got to call a lot of, I don't want to talk about this certain person. The hidden name is coming out there.
Who?
19 Keys. I got no personal beef with this brother, but I kind of see what people saying now. See, one
somebody
thing about
said we all saw R. Kelly pee on that little girl. I ain't see nothing, and I don't know the girl age. And at the end of time, I know because I was there when I was young. I didn't want people to know I was young because I had to be in places with adults.
Yeah, I seen that.
So a lot of people use fake IDs and stuff, but you don't know how old the girl was. You didn't see no ID and nothing like that. A lot of the parents were bringing their kids to him, and he was 19 at the time too. So let's go back. Stop looking at how white people get us to use time, because how old R. Kelly is today, he was not that age 25 years ago.
Yeah, I think she was underage because the way she was moving, but that's just my opinion on that.
Even if she was, how did she get there?
Exactly.
towards
Yeah.
her parents and stuff. But I'm
Exactly.
not gonna get
Other
into that
parents are to
because
blame
it's a
too.
lot of these parents, and it's probably the parents that's following Brother Polite that's down with it. You
Of
know, I'm
course,
not
of course.
saying anything and stuff, but I'm not saying anything about that. With R. Kelly, them parents took them children to R. Kelly, and we know that. How old they was and stuff. If we don't know the answers, what Black people need to do is stop trying to fill in.
Exactly.
Stop trying to fill in. Who is Ariel CH talking about? Stop protecting him. Please just go on. We talking about something serious. It ain't protecting this. I'm thinking. I'm a free thinker.
Yeah.
Be a free thinker for yourself and stop going by what people tell you, because if it was your son or your child, you would want everybody to know the truth. The thing is, R. Kelly and Brother Polite are two different things. That woman did not send her daughter over there. However, that little girl got the R. Kelly place and all this stuff, we know that the other testimonies, parents were bringing them there because they wanted his money. And just like a lot of people sell their children, I feel like they were selling their children, whether she was underage or not. Exactly. Now, they were doing what they were doing to their children. Brother Polite, he tricked the woman he was with and told him that he was taking the girl with him for whatever, and then he took him somewhere to sexually assault her, and then he slapped her, his thing all on her face, and then he drugged her, and then he brought her back to the mom and begged the mom not to tell on him. So you got the industry. Nobody talks about Tigger and one of the Kardashians. I was thinking, like, what is nobody saying anything? Remember the guy Tigger, the rapper, and he was going with the youngest Kardashian. She was 15 and 16. And in my mind, I was like, nobody says anything like that. So that Hollywood life, they deal with a lot of young girls back and forth. Was she 14? Was she 16? Was she 18? I don't know. I'm not getting into that. All I'm saying is that we gotta watch ourselves in the community and stop looking up at these stars.
Yeah, and another thing too, be right, and then even these other people that took Polite, Brother Polite's mantle. A lot of people took over his mantle, and they didn't knew, like I said, not to be funny. That brother like 19 keys. I'm not saying he don't give them good information out. He do. I like some of the things that brothers say, but some things be suspect, and I will even say, I the only reason why I'm not really want to call out people's names because I want to feel like we starting a conflict with our people, because some of our people are doing work, but at the end of the day, some people are charging our people these crazy prices. Let's be honest, money that Black people don't have, to get these courses, and at the end of the day, when you talk to some of these people, I said, did it really work for you? And they're like, no. Everybody talk about this investment.
He was charging some of them courses that Boyce was charging was $800, $1,000. That could have been some land.
Exactly. Even with the investment thing with Earn Your Leisure, everybody talking about that. I know.
Now I didn't hear about. I just kind of heard about the Earn Your Leisure, and I really don't know all about that.
I got some people who went there. They was like, was it? Everybody like, was it worth your money? And my people were like, yeah. And then they told me they spent like so much money on security. And they did $100,000 on security. It kind of blew money. Most people I talked to said it really didn't. It wasn't a good investment. Like
all that money went back to white people.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You didn't have it at a Black establishment. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got Black security, but it didn't go to a Black establishment. Like, I'm like, okay,
we got all these Black people that put on stuff and they go right to these expensive white convention places, whether it's the hotel, they spend all that money right back to white people. Nobody wants to collect money and say, hey, we're going to get this plot of land, and if we have a convention, it's going to be on our own stuff. We don't want to be uncomfortable no more. We want the comfortability of white people.
Are we starting this program for a program for the young black youth who can't read, stuff like that, or affordable healthcare? None of that money going back to that. So yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So we really got
down too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got to watch the people like Brother Polite. We got to stop taking up for people like Brother Polite. We got to stop taking up for these predatory people that's in our community because our women are not safe. Grand Rising, Yusuf.
Yeah, we most definitely. This guy right here, he's a monster, and whatever happened to him in prison, he get what he deserved. You know what I'm saying? And I hate.
And he ain't get enough time in prison. It's an insult. Nobody is marching. Nobody is fussing.
Oh yeah, huh? Yeah, my fault.
Nobody is marching that this man got 7 years and 10 years that he get to go home. But yet black men are sitting in prison for weed and different things, non-violent crimes, and spending their life in prison because of Biden and his 3-strike rule. But yet nobody is protesting, and this is our problem, because pedophiles and these child molesters and all these apists, I guess you can't say the R word, don't get harsh sentences. Only black people get harsh sentences for drugs. Exactly. And they get out to do it again. And they get out to do it again because the people who write the rules are the main people doing this. So they write the rules where if they do get caught, they don't get as harsh as a sentence. It's a shame when you got pedophiles walking the street, 2 and 3 strikes, and they're able to rape another girl, and they're able to do whatever they got to do again. And we watching black men rot in prison, dying because there's prison fights going in there for selling something to a grown person. But yet these grown people are walking around taking the innocence of a child, male or female, and they don't get that much time. Black people, we don't fight hard enough for rules and laws. We wait for those people who don't look like us to pass laws, and then we rally behind it. And then, we stay mad, but we don't do anything about it. Exactly. We ain't got lawmakers. Look at Fanning. What is her name? Fran Willis. She's just trying to get famous running after Trump. But yeah, her whole Georgia is filled with human trafficking. But yet she spent all this time to go after Trump so she could look like she doing something. With all these gerrymandering, all this mess with voting, all these lies with voting, and you going after Trump because you talking about what he could have done. He tried to take the election. What about the little kids that have been taken out of their parents' home, out of school? What about all these missing people?
Can I speak to that?
Yeah,
go ahead. I swear I love when y'all get on the road and I just kind of kick back. It's like, y'all do y'all thing. The reason why these people jump on something like what she's jumping on with Trump is because we have this impression taught to us for decades that if what we do isn't directly tied to Democrats and Republicans, it's unimportant. So because we've got it in our head that the Democrat Party is God and Trump is the devil and the Republicans are the devil, when you go after Trump, it makes you look like a demon killer. Yay, you fought the devil. Not understanding one devil is more open than the other, or it's 6 in one hand or a half dozen in the other. You fighting for 2 different wings of the same system of white oppression and normals, instead of fighting for the cause, for your people. We don't fight for our people. We don't live for our people. We do fringe. I was guilty of this. I would be writing and saying stuff, and one of my dearest friends, who was a Black business owner, said, "Why are you writing that way?" I said, "Well, because you got to reach every audience." She said, "Why you got to reach every audience? You talking to your people. What are you worried about talking to them for? You're trying to reach your people. Why do you care what they do?" That's what nationalism means. We care about our people, our platforms, our businesses, our children, our women, our safe spaces. That's what we care about. Don't ever get caught up like this young lady is in Trump and in Biden and in Obama and in Bush and in tomorrow is going to be September 11th. You know what I always talked about when I was on social media on September 11th? You know what I brought up every day? Every time it came around, I brought up the 13 Black firefighters that died on September 11th. That's what I talked about. Every single year, I mentioned all of their names. That's what I talk about because that's what's important to me. I'm not going to get into what Iraq did or what Afghanistan did or what anybody else did because those places have nothing to do with what my people are going through right here.
Exactly.
That's what we have
cannot
to
build
stay
Africa.
focused on.
Not trying to be funny. I love Africa, but we are being tricked to send all our resources to Africa and not build safe places here first. But go ahead.
It is a trick, and you are 100% right. I'm perfectly cool with our distant relatives in Africa, but excuse my language, I'd be damned if I be sending my money to my fourth cousin in Georgia while my kids in my house don't have no money.
Thank you.
We got to take care of the kids in our house.
Exactly.
And I let cousin DeAndre, my fourth cousin over in Georgia, gonna have to get it out of the mud like I do.
Or the retreat that we
Mr.
have,
P,
everybody from Georgia and all over can come, but ain't no use of us sending money so that our cousins over in Africa can send their kids to school and our kids is in drug infested neighborhoods running from bullets each day. It makes no sense of our thinking.
I will say this though. Shout out to Angela Mahama in South Africa.
We barely got a black president, but yet they got black people all over. Ain't nothing stopping them in Africa.
Can y'all hear me? Look, shout out to our brothers. We talking about that. Shout out to Julius Mahama in South Africa and EFF because they do what they're supposed to do. To me, they're the only one that really doing what they supposed to be doing, and they give us shout out over here. They tell we hope we do our thing over here, and they support us. We support them. They're the only one that's solid.
That's what's up.
And they're doing what they're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
They try to pay them because they know they don't want that. Because he said look, we're gonna take our land back here, and we support our brothers and sisters over in America. You know what I'm saying?
That's
right.
The
type of that we want.
That's what's up.
That's right.
Take your land back over there because we're gonna take land over here.
We from all over this earth. Y'all black Australians, start taking your land back. Y'all black
do what you do.
Start taking your land back. You black Mexicans, black Hispanic. Start doing it. Why is it
wherever you at?
The mind that we need to take all our money, our kids in public schools being taught by racist people, and Oprah and everybody building schools for people over in Africa.
You said Oprah.
We barely got a black president or black people in office to represent us. Black people got everybody to represent them. Over in Africa, they just got to do right.
Hey, Quinn,
they don't represent, but that's the thing.
You can't talk about
point.
Obama and you can't talk about Oprah. You know better.
I don't know why you thought I couldn't.
Oprah ain't did nothing for us, but make it work.
I let everybody know. You on my page. If you thought I might have been talking about one of them, you're probably right.
Yep.
When they do right, I promise I'll tell you they did right. But when they do wrong, I promise I'm gonna tell you they did wrong because they not gods to me. Them making it for whatever she's accomplished, for whatever wealth she has. Good on her. But it has done nothing for my household, nothing for my community, nothing for what we do. Me going rah, that black woman made it, don't help me.
Exactly.
And me going that half white, half Kenyan dude married to a black woman, whatever he accomplishes has neither jack nor ish to do with my community and my people.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We ain't seen nothing change in the black community.
There used to be a meme that used to be online, and I posted it a couple of different times, and it had a picture of a real tore up tenement looking place raggedy and run down. And it said under one, the black community under Democrats, and then under the same picture, the black community under Republicans. If that picture is not going to change until black people decide that we the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth most important thing that we deal with. When you deal with people who are nationalists, everything that they do revolves around that nationalism. Your sports revolves around your nationalism. Your fashion revolves around your nationalism. The person you choose, the way that you worship, the way you interact with your kids, the way you talk your talk, walk your walk, and wear your hair, it all comes back to your nationalism. to the point where they're like, dang, that's all you talking about. Damn straight.
Fact.
That's all I talk about.
We gotta be
Hey,
selfish with
Queen.
ourselves. It's time to
Hey,
start loving ourselves as Black people and
exactly.
That's the
loving ourselves.
mentality. That's the mentality that we got to change.
Hey,
Look
And
at
Queen.
that's
this.
why
Women
even when
making
we, every time we start talking about anything in here, and for anybody who's out there listening, if you ain't listened before, you ain't heard me, how you doing? I'm Mr. Pearson. I'm going to always come back to this. I'm going to always come back to us being us, unapologetically us, and
Exactly.
nothing else but us.
and that's
Queen
what's going to
That's
be
Angie.
what
at
I'm going to
our
always come
retreat.
back to.
Our
Queen
retreat is
Angie.
going to be unapologetically Black because we can. There are so many places that they put a dollar sign when they left us out of making money. They left us out of generational wealth. So they took down the whites only signs and put up dollar signs, knowing that we're the only race who has not accumulated generational wealth. So when you deal with other places, you got places where you cannot go because you can't afford it. That's the new language, but it's really saying whites and white friends only.
Exactly. Hey, Queen Angie, Queen Kathy. I know it was a good one, y'all. We about to close out. So, Queen Angie, are you in?
I am, yes.
Okay. So
Okay, we
you know
go.
what we do around this time. So
I'm
get the
here.
information out.
Before you do that, I wanted to say, like what Amazing Tribe said, the delusions of grandeur, Biden Jr. and the culture vulture 304's Kamala Harris
Oh
have sent our
yes.
reparations money over to Ukraine, $100
Fact.
trillion, not including resources in America that are stolen. So we need to really stick together because these
Fact.
little money that we think we're arguing with each other about where we're from, this and that, we can have our own police stations, our own prisons. We can put our own people in prisons if we had the money, but we have been left behind and they're building faster than we can even catch up. And it's done by design. And
Fact.
they only get to punish us and push their ways and their goods down our throats. And if we want anything, we first got to recognize these are predators disguised as activists. And I'll lay my plane. Go ahead, Queen.
Facts. Do we have a video for them Queen Angie? We talk about UEOA, or we just gonna let Angie get the information out?
We could just let her do it out. I think I got just one video about the merch.
Okay.
And just know we want to just go ahead and tell them, Angie, everything that they get in merch is going towards our endeavor.
Yes, so everything we do, everything that we promote is to build our micronation, the United Empires of Akibalon. I know I say this every time we get together, and I promise you all, I am busy. We are all busy doing positive things. So we do appreciate the feedback. We appreciate the support, the likes and the shares, even though I am personally a little behind on updating the website. And that website is www.theunitedempires.of Akibalon is spelled Alkebulan. So definitely check that out. Subscribe. Give me just a few more moments to get this together. Um, like I said, so many things going on, so many moving parts as we all collectively come here together and share this information with you all, do the work in the community, you know, try to, do what we need to do with families. So be patient with us. We are not here to judge, but we do hold each other accountable. All of us, we're here to hold one another accountable for greatness. So check out that website. As far as our radio station, we are making some moves. I'm making some changes. So in the meantime, in between platforms that we are on, we want you to check out our website for the radio station. And that is www.gmfatla.com. Again, have to update that. So give me this week. We're going to get that going because we are definitely pumped up about making moves. We're excited about the positive changes that are coming in the near future. We are definitely not just here talking about things, we are making moves. So it does take a lot of work. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of energy. And we do need your support, right? And you want to support things and people that are about like-minded business. And so if you enjoy what we talk about, if you understand and you can be open-minded to the growth that we're looking for. We want to align with you. And like D. May says, everybody's not going to make it, right? That 300, they'll tell you here on this platform, I'll be trying to root for everybody, but it's getting tiring, right? So we are looking for people that are ready to be boots on the ground and make a difference and give back to your community, give back to yourself, your families, right? And collectively, we can all make a change. So check out those websites, everything like Queen Tina just said, everything we do as far as apparel, merchandise, whatever we're doing, any venues, fundraisers, all that is going towards what we're talking about. Buying that land, teaching people how to farm, educating people, having safe resources, safe havens. So definitely stay connected with us so you can know what's going on whenever something's going on. And we always pop up with something that we want to share with you all. So definitely stay connected with all of us. Make sure you check out Mind Games Uncut every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He is always giving truth and knowledge, always positive Black empowerment, right? So check him out. Queen Kathy B has some stuff on YouTube as far as gardening. I love watching it. If you all see it, it should inspire you to want to start growing your own food, especially if you follow what we're talking about. And of course, Queen Tina Berry with Straight No Chaser with the Queen is on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. So follow her, always giving good insight. So grateful. Mr. P was not, or Pablo X was not here tonight. He's always in the community with the New Age Panther Party doing stuff. Mr. P rocks. We're so grateful to be blessed with his presence. He shuts it down. And so I love it. I love it. So you all just follow us, connect with us, stay connected with us, and help us make a change and a difference because it's about you too, right? I'm going to land my plane there.
And I want to say this, Queen, if you go to the website, a lot of y'all are on the website, and we're going to be more active on our website because we've been to this radio station. We've been trying to link with everybody. But at the end of the day, why I haven't been on YouTube and I'm coming back is because we have been out here working together. We've been trying to build when we trying to plan a vision for everybody, no matter where you're at as a Black person. You might have to come to certain places, but as we grow, the vision is to grow together. So when you go on the website, it's $10 a month. It's our 5-year commitment. It's going towards land. As I said, and I'm pretty sure Kathy don't mind me saying it. And the other people that's in the micronation, they've been working, but we started this before they came in, and we put down on some plots of land, and we got small acres of land in Alabama, Arizona, basically California. Some of it we can grow, but the place that we are building right now is going to be our safe haven. It's a project. We are building a project where we can build something that is exclusively for us to come bring our children to the Black retreat. And if you go on the website and you see the 5-year commitment, that's what your $10 is going to. We've already put up $20,000 of our own money. We basically see all the scamming that's going out, and we wanted to make sure that we are being an example first. A lot of people come out here and ask y'all to do this, do that, and are they putting up money with you? We're putting up. We bought the foundation. Now it takes all of us to build. If you want to see something different, we can't just completely get away from America, but we can start building safe places for us to work together, and it's one place at a time. So we're going to have, like Angie said, we're going to have more on the website. We're going to get you more involved, but just to know all your donations, if you commit, is going towards the future. And I'll land my plane. D. Mays, Kathy, Queen Angie,
you good?
Y'all want to close out?
Angie, you do your thing, Angie. You know how we do.
Hey, D. Mays.
Great topic.
Oh, Mr. P.
Hey.
I didn't know you were there. Go ahead. Do y'all?
Nah, I just want
to go ahead and close out.
Yeah. Yo, D. Mays, I'm sorry about your buzz, dog. When I come to Atlanta, I got a glass that's on me for you.
Okay, bro.
I got you.
No doubt. Hey,
I got you.
Knowledge overcomes.
Give him a heads up. He didn't come out when Queen Tina and I came down there, so give him a heads up. Couldn't
I'm
find
gonna
him
give him a
enough.
hands
Yeah,
up.
we know him. I forgot
Hey,
about that,
y'all is
Angie.
always rude, bro. That
I'm gonna
holler.
let you know when I come down there. So that's a glass of dark on me, sir.
Gotcha.
That's what's up.
All right, Angie, you got it.
And y'all know, go ahead, Angie. The micronation is the way you govern yourself as a Black person until we get our own land, because all the land is taken. You're part of the United Empires of Kibelon. The UEOA is your mind. It's putting us first. Black people for Black people. We're not looking for followers. We're looking for leaders, because leaders get shit done.
That's right.
Amen. Amen. Stay tuned for that on a
Exactly.
t-shirt. So yes, we want to thank you all for tuning in. We try to be here every Sunday, so just stay connected with us. Again, follow us at www.theunitedempiresofakibalon.com for our ventures with the Micronation. Definitely follow us as well on our radio station site at www.gmfatla.com. Please subscribe via email to both of those. But like Queen Tina said, we definitely want to encourage you to become a partner with us and donate that $10 a month for that 5-year commitment on buying land, or you can choose to do it as a one-time payment every year at 120 annually. So whatever you do, make sure you stay connected with us. Until next time, we appreciate you, your feedback, your support, and your love. Take care. Peace, love, and blessings.
Peace. Thank you all
Peace.
for listening.
Hey.
Peace.
We appreciate you all.